Coming up, kids in cages and migrant deaths. Welcome to Just Facts News, where we bring you thoroughly vetted facts that other newscasts have ignored or distorted. In a recent episode of MSNBC's flagship news show, Alex Wagner Tonight, Wagner reported on Trump's plans to deal with illegal immigration. She then asked Biden campaign official Quentin Fulks the following question and let him reply without challenging him.
Does the Biden campaign feel that Donald Trump is on the level of Hitler and Mussolini?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Alex, thank you for having me on the show. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. We've had 4 years to see Donald Trump drive our country to the brink of destruction on foreign policy, domestic policy, and now his campaign is clearly outlining what he would do if he were to regain power in 2025. You know, he's talking about ending birthright citizenships, mass detention centers by using the military to round up American citizens in some cases, you know, putting children in cages. You know, this is not who we are. And so absolutely, Donald Trump has proven that he's on the level of Hitler and Mussolini by his actions.
Here's what Fulks and Wagner failed to tell you. The so-called cages used by the Trump administration to temporarily hold migrant children were built and also used by the Obama administration. Here's a picture of Obama's Secretary of Homeland Security, Jeh Johnson, walking past one of these cages in 2014. But when Donald Trump became president in 2017, elected Democrats and celebrities began raging about these facilities while posting photos from the Associated Press with comments about children in cages. The problem, however, is that the Associated Press itself reported that the photos were from 2014 during the Obama administration, but were presented by liberal activists as if they showed the effects of Trump's immigration policy. Nevertheless, Democrats have continued to spread the claim that these facilities were an inhumane policy of Trump, even though the Biden administration continues to use these so-called cages. Yet that reality doesn't stop a top Biden campaign official from going on NBC and accusing Trump of what Biden is doing and saying,
"This is not who we are."
Here's more of what Wagner and Fulks failed to tell you while they were accusing Trump of being on the level of mass murderers like Hitler and Mussolini. One of the most direct measures of the deadliness of immigration policies is the number of people who die while trying to cross the border. This is a two-edged sword because tight border security leads some migrants to take more dangerous paths, but it also deters others from making the trip at all. The net effect of these factors is unknown because many other variables can impact border crossing deaths. However, the fact is that border crossing deaths were lower under Trump than any president for as far back as data extends, and they had been much higher under Joe Biden than ever recorded, well over twice the average under Trump. In the federal government's 2022 fiscal year, 856 people died while trying to cross the border, as opposed to an average of 282 per year during Trump's presidency. Yet instead of being transparent about this major increase in deaths, the Biden administration has refused to release the data to the public. However, federal employees have leaked it to the press. So the Biden administration adopted a policy of not recording border crossing deaths in cases where the federal government isn't the first entity to discover the dead bodies. That means when the Mexican government, U.S. state and local governments, farmers, or any private citizen discover people who died trying to cross the border, the Biden administration doesn't even count them, even though federal law requires them to do so. In December 2022, Just Facts asked the Biden administration how they justify this seemingly illegal policy. Nearly 1 year later, we still haven't received a reply. Thank you for joining us. Tune in next time for more thoroughly vetted facts that other newscasts ignore or distort.